So welcome to the Installer Show. We're back. We're bigger, we're better than ever before, and it's just fantastic to be back in one room again with so many people. And I say we're bigger and better. We've got 150 exhibitors this year. It's the biggest it's ever been. We've filled the entire hall here at the CBS Arena, formerly known as the Ricoh Arena. And we're here on the Installer Plaza, which is sponsored by Glowworm. We've got challenges, we've got product demos, we've got interviews, we've got heated debates, which are going to be coming up on every day with a hot topic, and we've got famous faces. There's so much for you to take part in. We've got competitions, things to get your hands on, see how they work, all the new stuff that's going on. See how people have progressed over the years. Since the first time we did this a few years ago, this has just grown, and the stands are extraordinary now. And of course, the things you'll find all the usual suspects, the big brands that have grown over the years. We've also got the, well, I say brands that have grown, Installer Invent, and that really has seen some great success stories come through from that. We've got the great Installer Giveaway. Now, we'll explain a little bit about that in a moment or two. You couldn't go to Glastonbury, but we've got Gastonbury here. Gasto is happening here. Merchandise, got everything you can get at Glastonbury here. We've got CIPHE Business Support Centre here to give you all the advice you need. We've got the Racing Bug down at the far end of the hall. You fancy yourself a bit of a motor racer? Formula One season's almost ended. See how you can go at that. And we've got table football. Get your hands on. All these exhibitors have got so much going on here. And as I said, we're going to meet some of the industry's key players here in the plaza each day. Interviews, and we've got this series called the Great Debate Series. And today at 1 o'clock, we're going to kick off with the role of hydrogen in a net zero UK. We've got, of course, the infamous by now, Tim Pollard and a panel of experts, and we're going to debate that topic. And throughout the day, I'm going to be visiting lots of the stands around here, talking to the people there. What have they got? What are they showing us? And getting you to come on down and have a look. And then at 11 o'clock, actually, we're going to be joined by former Arsenal England star, the Romford Pele, Ray Parlour. He's going to tell us a little bit about some of his experiences with plumbing. And I'll tell you, there's a funny story to tell there. And then at 3 o'clock this afternoon, join us here on the plaza to meet the next generation of leaders and influencers who are going to be, well, they're ultimately going to be responsible for ensuring the ongoing success of low carbon targets and overall sustainability in the years to come. And that's the Future Leaders. And that's an industry-wide initiative set up by Installer's sister brand, Elemental. But before any and all of that, I'm delighted to be joined here by Ian McManus of Installer. Ian, how good is it to be back?
Very good. It's been a long time coming, I can tell you. We've had many sleepless nights over this, but yeah, it's really great. And look at the people. Wow.
The great industry get together, and it really is the great industry get back together, isn't it?
For sure, absolutely. And I think it's really important to point out that, you know, the installers who are walking around the show today, I've been on the job all the time, all through this pandemic, you know, and it's really important to support them. And they really are heroes, and they're essential workers. And I think when we were putting this show together, I think it was very important that we look to celebrate that and to give them a really good time. And there's hospitality throughout the event, and I think all of our exhibitors have really rolled out the red carpet for them, and they deserve it. It's a great effort.
Yeah, and we'll talk to some of them later, but I guess it's been a stressful time for them, because actually going into people's houses and, you know, was there COVID, wasn't there COVID, and so on, and all of that stuff, that puts a stress in its own way, doesn't it?
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. And I think they've coped very admirably, because, you know, if someone's central heating's not working, or the plumbing's not working, they've got to, that is essential, you know. So yeah, I'm sure there was a lot of pressure, but they certainly stepped up.
Now, I don't know about you. I'm not an installer. I know you're not an installer, but Zoom has done my head in over the last 18 months. You know, do you know when it started out, when the pandemic started, Zoom had a daily users in January last year of 10 million users. Do you know how many there are now?
I can imagine.
300 million users.
Yeah.
And there's over 90 platforms like Zoom. But I don't know about you, there was a new game in town called Top Half, Bottom Half. You could wear your pajamas. You could wear nothing if you wanted, as long as you were dressed on the top half. But it's been a real stress for people, and good to get back to face.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's interesting when people were at home, working at home, and a lot of people still are. They're working, you know, split in the office and at home. And it was interesting because we were able to contact and speak to people that we wouldn't normally, because they've got sucked into that office, you know, and they're in meetings and all the rest of it. But when you're in your front room, you can get hold of people easier.
Yeah. And there's actually sort of that whole thing about I'm going to work from home next week. Yeah, sure. But actually, people have kind of worked harder from home. And
well, I think if you're not working, you get found out pretty quickly, don't you?
Yes, I think you're right. But the whole mental welfare issue, and I know when we talked about merit later on today, that's going to be an issue we talk about. Now, sold out this year. 150. You can't get any bigger. I mean, it's full.
Yeah.
Cast your mind back, actually, to the first time we were here and the difference between then and now.
Well, back in 2015, yeah. I mean, it was a nail-biting event, wasn't it? We didn't know
would anyone come through the door.
Would anyone come, you know? Build it and they will come. So, yeah, but gradually, I mean, we have seen at least 10-15% increase year on year. And this year, we've jumped well over to 35% increase on registrations. This year, we've got the highest visitor registrations than we've ever had in all of our history. So if proof were needed that people wanted to get out there, that installers want to get face-to-face with the industry, this is it.
Now, look, clear one thing up for me. The Great Installer Giveaway, which we've got down the far end of the hall. There's thousands of products down there. But it's a giveaway because they're at show-only knockdown prices. It's not free. Don't help yourself. It's not walking along, picking along as you go along.
We were being ironic when we called when we said giveaway. But yeah, no, we're doing it in association with Wolseley. There's not, I would say there's not an item there, and there are 103 of them, that is less than 50% off. So it's a giveaway, David.
It is a giveaway. And you say 103 items there.
Yeah.
I think it was
130.
130. And how many pallets was it? 83 pallets turned up.
Some crazy number. It was scary when they kept coming and coming. You know?
Brilliant. Now, look, changes next year.
Yes.
What's happening? Because you've got all sorts of new brands and initiatives coming up.
Well, we've got we've sold out here, and we've loved being here, and it's been great for the show. But there is a lot of people looking to expand with us. So the show is moving to the NEC next June next year, and we also have another brand that is not at the show now, but we have an Elemental brand, which looks very much at commercial industrial side of things. People who develop the products, people who dream up the future and what that's going to look like. So that is going to sit not in Installer, but opposite Installer. So that also at the NEC. This was one of the reasons that we are looking to move to the NEC as well, because we needed that space for that expansion. So.
Yeah, but I know you've been, and I've enjoyed it over the last few years, since 2015, as we said, and the Ricoh as was and the CBS now have been great hosts for us.
I cannot stress how brilliant these guys are. You know, Paul and his team, and Caroline, and all of them are absolutely brilliant. And you know, if we were remaining the same size, we would not be going anywhere.
Wouldn't be a question. Now, look, there's one thing. Just looking at the CT1 stand over there, that is a great installer success story, InstallerSHOW success story, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, when they started out.
Well, there was what I said to you the other day. They had a very small stand, and I think 2 or 3 shows back, and now look at them. They look very very sophisticated, don't they?
Very sophisticated. But that's been the story of the InstallerSHOW throughout, hasn't it? Because if you remember that first year, even the big brands came here and they thought, well, we'll put our toe in the water, we'll see what it's like, and then suddenly went, hang on a minute, this is the show.
Yeah. I mean, all of these stands are shop windows for these brands, and when people step onto those stands, they're stepping into the world of Valent, or the world of Glowworm, or the world of Baxi, or you know, anyone that they go to, and I think there's got to feel of what the culture is of that business, and they certainly do that here. And hospitality is a really big thing for us as well on every stand, and you will find it. So
brilliant. Well, it was a
great welcome.
Yes, absolutely. Well, there's a great buzz going on. I know you're going to walk around and just to talk to loads of people. I'm going to be doing the same later. But at 11 o'clock back here, former Arsenal and England star Ray Parlour is going to tell us some of his stories and just talks about what it's like now having people back. You know, it's great having people in here. What's it like having people back in football stadia? And as I said, he's got a story to tell too. So join us back here at 11 o'clock. But until then, just enjoy everything that is the InstallerSHOW here at the CBS Arena.
It has to provide enough hot water for the whole family. It has to help me save money. It has to be reliable for a very long time. Highly recommended by installers. Absolutely. You're the best. No, you are. No, you are.
Glowworm, keeping Britain glowing.